Good evening and welcome to the Formula Racing League. It's the 100% Racing Championship, which takes us to Barcelona, round 8. 3 rounds to go in this current season. And Big Boss Bells will be looking to make up for the error he made in Melbourne last week, crashing out, which saw his championship lead being cut down by Dixon to 31 points. But some reprieve for him because Dixon is around tonight. He's definitely he's not going to be making the race, so it's a golden opportunity for Big Boss Bells to build that lead back up before we go to the last couple of rounds of the season. So we're at Spain at the moment, and then the final couple of rounds. Next week we go to Portimao, and then should the circuit be released in time, we'll be going to Imola. So I want to run down on what happened in qualifying yesterday that took place. That we are going straight into the race now. And the 13 drivers took part in qualifying in Q1. There was no casualties and everyone went into Q2. The pace was set by Amaguna, who had set a 1 minute 17.5. Q2, most people went through on the mediums. The exceptions were Tor, Page and Quick Killer, who were on softs. Eliminated were Ginge, Eckert and Moody. Big Boss Bells tops the session with 1 minute 17.1. And finally in Q3, Big Boss Bells had set the early pace with a 1 minute 16.5. A place he would never leave. Mielios pulled out a brilliant 1 minute 16.6 to go P2, ahead of Amaguna, who managed a 1 minute 16.8 as well. Then it's Big Boss Bells, who slightly improved to a 1 16.534. He went 6 thousandths fast, and he did so in the first run. But the performance of the evening was Mielios, who qualified second, and the biggest disappointment was Ginge, who will line up in 11th position. So we'll run down the grid as soon as the formation lap begins. I do have an idea of the grid. There may well be a change in the order because there's one driver missing for tonight, or two. But we'll find out when the formation lap does get on the way. The drivers are involved not to ready up just yet. Gives everyone a chance to sort out tyre and fuel strategies for this 66 lap event. It is a track that is quite hard on the tyres actually, hence why we're using the C1, C2 and C3 compound, the hardest compounds in the Pirelli spectrum. There's no one else in the championship running. The third place driver in the championship is Eckert on 72 points, and it's Melios in 4th on 64 and Ginge in 5th on 63. So it's quite a battle going on for third place, but it's pretty much the top two fighting for the championship. But Dixon isn't around, and Big Boss Bells 31 points is the gap, which could well extend to as big as 73 by the time this race is over. So a rundown on the grid. Big Boss Bells is on pole position with Melios alongside. That's Guna and Eat My Dust on the second row. Will and Jay Hartnell are next on row 3. Then it's Page and Quick Killer on the 4th row. Ginge and Eckert and Moody moving up a couple of positions each, because there's a couple of drivers who took part in qualifying yesterday that aren't around tonight for the race. Then we've got Marcel in 12th position, followed by Rosie and Softar, 2 Red Bull drivers on the 7th row. Then it's Max and Gainful Odds in the AlphaTauris on row 8. Winfield and Fragile Tunnel on the 9th row, and then making up the grid is Liverpool Fan in 19th in the Mercedes. So we've got 19 involved tonight, all hoping to make it to the end of this one. Only 7 drivers were classified last week, and it was Statistic King who came out on top. He'll be going for glory tonight. Well, in fact, Statistic King isn't around. He was one of the reserves being called in, so you're hoping for a decent race this evening. Hopefully not too many drivers getting involved in each other's accidents. And in terms of who is starting on what as well, so Page, Quick Killer, Moody and Gainful Odds starting on their softs. On the hards are Rosie, Max and Liverpool Fan. The rest are all on mediums. So can Big Boss Bells take victory here? Already won 3 times this season. Won the opening 2 rounds in Bahrain and Brazil. And doing so at round 4, which was in Azerbaijan. He failed to finish last week though in Australia. As long as he gets a good start here, he should be able to maintain his pace throughout this one. So 19 cars on the grid then. We are ready for this 66th lap Spanish Grand Prix. Big Boss Bells hoping to lead the field into turn 1 here. The 5 red lights are coming on now. When they all extinguish, we'll be racing here in Barcelona. It's lights out and away we go. Big Boss Bells gets off the line. Okay, but Mielo's got off the line better. So Mielo's leads into turn 1 surely. And we could see the other Alpine of Eat My Dust down the inside of Big Boss Bells into 2nd place. But he stays in 3rd. So Mielo's leads ahead of Big Boss Bells. It's Eat My Dust and there's plenty of cars off the racetrack. Will's gone round in the Aston Martin. With Big Boss Bells 2nd, and it's Eat My Dust, Quick Killer up to 4th on the soft compound. It's Gunnar, Jay Hartnell, Ginge, Eckhart, Rosie and Moody running out your top 10 so far. There are a couple of jump starters. Rosie's one of them in the Red Bull. Max is the other. And we've seen plenty of other cars spinning around. That's the AlphaTauri of what looks like Gainful Odds, who's pointing the wrong way. He's gone into the barrier as well. Front wing damage most certainly to that car. And he will be making his way back into the pits, I would imagine. But I can see we've got a new onboard view for tonight, just as a trial and error thing of which I'm doing at the moment for any of my commentary gigs. So Melio's out in front with Quick Killer in 3rd place behind Big Boss Bells, as they all make their way through turn 12 and through 13 and then into the chicane of 14 and 15. So you can see one 3rd place right now, the other is in 16th place. Someone's gone round and it's Melio's. Melio's has spun from the lead and he's going to have to do a whole lap without a front wing to his car. That's a really bad error there for Melio's after a brilliant qualifying. And it looks like someone else has had an incident. It may just be the leftover debris. And Paige is in the pits as well. She's got damage seemingly to her McLaren. And Gainful Odds into the pit lane as well. So Big Boss Bells is back into the race lead. Quick Killer not far behind him. He's going to be right onto the gearbox of the McLaren very shortly with the amount of grip he's got to his Aston Martin, to the mediums that the McLaren currently holds. So Big Boss Bells continuing to head the field with Quick Killer not too far off. Big Boss Bells with a new fast as that. Quick Killer's dropped back from him a little bit. And we've got Eat My Dust in 3rd place. And then it's Gunnar in 4th. Jay Hartnell under threat here from Eckhart as they come towards turn 1. So Max comes in to serve his drive-through penalty. And Milos is into the pits for a change of nose cone. It's going to be a long way back for him from there. So Big Boss Bells continuing to head the field. And Safdar moves in front of Moody. Or so he thought. Moody's come back on him. And Moody running wide on the exit of turn 8. And now they're going to go through 9. And Safdar looks to move in front of Moody. Oh, Moody made a mistake. He caught the curb as he was getting the power down, and that's allowed Safdar to go through. Marcel picks up the first time penalty of the race for track limits. It's taken less than 4 laps for him to do that. So clearly needs to keep his car on the circuit next time. Gunnar is right behind My Dos in the battle for third place, as Eckhart goes past Jay Hartnell into fifth. There's Fragile Tunnel in the Haas. So Medios has rejoined in 17th position. So all 19 drivers still in the race at the moment. It's not using too much of the ERS at the moment. And Gunnar right on the tail of My Dos in the battle for third place. And then they go through the last turn. Now, is Gunnar going to be close enough here? He's using the ERS as well as My Dos, actually, who is also using ERS, but Gunnar's going to have the DRS, of which the Alpine is not. Not close enough. So, no change of position there. Safdar posts a new fastest lap, 1 minute 21.4, I think it was. No, it's 1:21.6. And there's Moody and Will going toe-to-toe in the battle for 10th place, or 9th, I should say. Will fighting back after that spin at turn 1. And that's the Alfa Romeo of Winfield diving to the inside. And that should be a change of position. And Winfield taking advantage of Moody's error as well to go up into 9th position. So that's 2 positions he's gained in one go there, has Winfield. And there's Liverpool fan in 12th place. He's kept his car clean at the start. And My Dos has gone round, I think. No, it's not. It's Winfield. So Winfield has just got by the Haas of Moody and the Aston Martin of Will, has gone for a spin. And Gunnar's got in front of My Dos into turn 10 as well. So that's a couple of position changes there. Now Gunnar will be going after Quick Hill unless My Dos has something to say on that. There's Safdar. So he goes through turn 4 there. Closing in on Marcel, but Marcel's within a second actually of Jay Hartnell. As they exit turn 5, there is a little left kink of 6 before they get to the tricky section of turn 7 and 8. Now they're going through 9. So Hartnell protecting 6th position at the moment, but Marcel may be taking that off him very shortly here. He's got a lot more speed down the pit straight, and that's Marcel going up into 6th place. Will Safdar also follow suit? Not into turn 1. He knows he's a quicker driver than Jay, actually, Safdar, so it shouldn't be too long before he does get past the Ferrari. Hartnell running wide there, as was Marcel, and that's allowed Safdar through into P7. Marcel in front. And I wouldn't have thought it's going to be too long before Safdar gets in front. But he's gone for a spin! Safdar spins at turn 8. Will goes past him. And Moody will go past him as well. So Safdar throws it all away by spinning there. And someone else has had a moment, I believe. Quick Killer's dropped back as well. So Quick Killer's dropped to 4th position now behind Eat My Dust. He made a mistake at turn 12 and it's cost him a couple of positions. And Max has been penalised for track limits, so that's 3 seconds for him. Nielios is in the battle for 16th place. That's Ginge in front of him, who leaves the door for him to just sail past. So we're on lap 8 of this Grand Prix. Big Buzz Bells' lead is 6 seconds. As Gameful Odds gets a penalty for track limits. You can see how smooth he's taking it through the corners. He's not actually pushing that much. In terms of the pit window for him, will probably be around lap 22, providing he keeps his car clean. There's Quick Killer. Closing back in on Eat My Dust in the fight for the third. He's catching the curbs though, which nearly sent him into a spin but gathered it all up. And someone's off. It's the other Aston Martin of Will this time. He's gone off at turn 12 and rejoins what is now 10th. There's Liverpool Fun who goes past him. Has he got damage, I wonder? Doesn't look as though he has. And Winfield is getting past Liverpool Fan on the straight at the moment. He's gone past him with ease. And Safdar gets back ahead of Moody now for 8th place. And Safdar's tight on fuel at the moment. And so is Quick Killer. I think a lot of the drivers are preempting that there will be a safety car coming out at some stage. And Will gets the penalty now for track limits. I think Rose has got the same as well, so that's 5 drivers on time penalties. Quick Killer running wide there. I wonder if he's picked up a warning for that. He's going to complete a move here on Eat My Dust. And that's 3rd place going to the Aston Martin driver. I think Winfield's right on the tail of Moody as well, although he's too far back, even with the DRS. Safdar with another new fastest lap. It's the AlphaTauri of Max. So the race leader, Big Boss Bells, is coming up to his first back marker. That is Gameful Odds. He's still quite a bit ahead, actually. So, in fact, he's gone for a spin. So that sorts that issue out. So Guna should go through past the AlphaTauri of these. And Mima Moody's retired. So Mima Moody's crashed into the barrier at turn 8, and that brings out the first safety car of this Grand Prix. Now, Big Boss Bells has just gone past pit entry. Guna also going past, and this is allowing Quick Killer to take the opportunity because he started the race on the soft compound. So he comes in now, and this is his first stop of the race. What compound is he going to go on, though? It's mediums. I think the race leader's just gone past the safety car, actually, so Quick Killer's not going to gain anything, I don't think, by doing this. He rejoins behind Safdar in 8th place. Winfield also in, and so is Liverpool Fan. Back out on a set of mediums he goes. Winfield will be there to join him. He's out on a set of hards. So this is at least good news for those at the back of the field, apart from Gainful Odds, actually. He's just gone down a lap on the race leader. So had it not been for that spin, he would have stayed on the lead lap. And he's got to hope that the race leader does pit in at the end of this lap. Otherwise, it's going to be a complete lap out of sync. So Max enters the pits for AlphaTauri. He'll remain on the lead lap. And Jay Hartnell's race has just taken a bad turn as he's been given a drive-through penalty for speeding under safety car conditions. And the race leader stays out, so that's just not good news actually for Gainful Odds. And another drive-through penalty for Jay Hartnell. He cannot stay within the delta. That's 2 drive-through penalties he's going to have to take. And Eckhart coming in for a pit stop now for Williams. So he boxes now. And it's another set of the memes going on. And Softar will go ahead of him, as will Quickula. So Eckhart will rejoin in 8th position behind the Aston Martin. So Big Boss Bells in the race lead. Now as it stands in the championship, Softar has the fastest up of the race. He's not in the championship hunt though. So if Big Boss Bells was to win this one, he'll be 72 points clear over his nearest rival Dixon, with 2 rounds to go. He's very much within touching distance of clinching the championship. The safety car will remain out there for at least one more lap. And I'm not sure what's happening here, because Eckhart is trying to let Will back through and has just been penalised for ignoring yellows. So this is really strange. Well, a strange way for it to happen. And Melios goes off track. I think the safety car will be going in at the end of this lap. Max is not too far behind Page, who's just going through turn 5. Max is just going through turn 4 now. And so the safety car's lights are off, and Big Boss Bells will be waiting for the safety car to pull away. When he does so, we're back to green flag racing after 13 laps of this Spanish Grand Prix. Mimon Modi, the only retirement so far. Jay Harnell has got 2 drive-through penalties to make, so well, he's got to take 2 drive-through penalties, so he may as well box in now and get on with it here, but he's He's left the field for dead, and he just held the field up for so long. They will not be too pleased with that, and I wanted the stewards to be having a word with him because he did exceed 10 car length behind the car in front before they crossed over the line to go green flag racing. And someone's gone off in sector 1. Who is that? That's the Alpine of Eat My Dust, who's gone round. He remains out of everyone's way whilst he's trying to get back up to speed. So that's him falling down there. Oh, and there's another collision there. That's Melios and Fragile making contact through turn 4. It's still going toe to toe as Rosie gets past the Alpine. I think he's got damage actually as Emai Dust sends wise drop it. Yeah, you can see on the left hand side of his front wing has taken a bad dent. So that'll be him off into the pit lane. And Ginge now penalised for track limits. And that's Will who's gone off track in the Aston Martin. Now he's rejoined in 10th position, and Quick Killer has had a moment as well. So both Aston Martin drivers struggling on the restart. Melios looks like he cut the corner there as he was trying to get past the Aston Martin. Oh, Quick Killer's off! Now he needs to be careful. He's tipped into the barrier as well. Debris everywhere. He may take out the other. Oh, he just missed the Alfa Romeo there as Quick Killer. So I think this is going to be a VSC, to be honest with you, with all that debris lying around. But Quick Killer pointing the wrong way and without a front wing. And Jay Hardnell into the pits to serve his second drive-through penalty of this one. So Big Boss Bells thinking about when to be pitting in this one. And Ginge getting past Liverpool fan for 12th place. So the battle for 5th rages on between Winfield and Eckert. DRS now enabled. Eckert won't be able to take it here because the detection point is before the end of the lap, so he won't get the DRS down the pit straight now, but should he remain within a second of the car in front, he will do. And there's Quick Killer making his way back into the pit lane. He'll drop down to 17th, as Game Velocity is still a lap down on the leaders at the moment. He's trying to stay out of everyone's way. Having said that, and actually pull away from Safdar if he can, although he's not a quicker driver than Safdar. So I think he's going to find it difficult to hold him back. So Will has got past Fragile Tunnel for 8th place. So Quick Killer is in the pits. New front wing on, and he'll be back out in P17. Nearly a lap down now on the leaders. So Guna staying in touch with Big Boss Bells at the moment. He's doing well. Going a lot further than he did so in Australia last week. Marcel, who's carrying a time penalty at the moment of 3 seconds, is in 3rd place on the track. Now Nielos is right behind Eckert here in the battle for 6th. Is this going to be a change of position here? Here we go. Nielos to the inside. And the two avoid contact by the looks of things. So Nielos gets through into 6th place. There was a slight bang of wheels. But Nielos has the inside line going through turn 3. Well, he did so for a moment, and then Eckert was able to fight back on him. So Ginge making his way through past Fragile Tunnel for 11th place. The Wolfman may be able to take advantage and head through, which he does so. So Fragile Tunnel gets attacked from behind by Page. And he's gone into the barrier and he's out of the race. And that's the second safety car being deployed. So Fragile Tunnel joins his teammate on the sidelines. Both Haas drivers out of the race now. Now, if I was Big Boss Bells, I'd be considering coming in for a pit stop. And Big Boss Bells is being penalised for speeding under the safety car. That is really bad news for Big Boss Bells' race. And that's going to hand the initiative to Amaguna. Now, Safdar stays out, which is bad news for the AlphaTauri of Gameful Odds, because had Safdar gone in the pits, he would have got back on the lead lap. So plenty of other cars in the pit lane. Big Boss Bells is on the softs. Guna's on mediums. Marcel on softs. And looks like Melios is going to go onto a set of mediums as well. Will out on a set of mediums. So plenty of pit lane activity at the moment. So Big Boss Bells rejoins in 4th place, but he's got a drive-through penalty to take once the safety car goes back in. And it's the same with Gameful Odds as well. So Safdar will have a stint at the front. So, I mean, to be fair, if we get another safety car later, that may bring Big Boss Bells right back into it, but he's got a lot of ground to make up now. Jake Hartnell will be reprieved. But the safety car has come back out again, because now he's already taken his 2 drive-through penalties. He's just coming in for a pit stop now, and that's the first set of mediums going on. He can catch up to the rest of the field. So Safdar in the race lead, Winfield second. We expect him to be going on a longer second stint, so he could well take the lead of the race once Safdar does eventually come in. Eckhart will be right on Winfield's tail though. Big Boss Bells will be right on their tail, but he will be taking a drive-through penalty within the first few laps once the safety car does go back into the pit lane. There's Page in 10th. Marcel 11, Melio's 12th, and Will in 13th. Now, Gameful Odds will also need to serve a drive-through penalty, so he may as well take it at the end of this lap so he stays out of everyone's way. I mean, Jay Hartnell is so far behind at the moment. Safety car may decide to come in at the end of the start. In fact, he's back in the pits, is Jay Hartnell. And what's happened here? Has he must have damage to that Ferrari. He's lost himself even more time by doing this. Hard tyres going on. And the safety car is going to remain out there for one more lap. At least Jay Hartnell will stay on the lead lap, but he's going to be so far behind for when the field do get going again. In fact, the safety car is coming in this lap, so Jay Hartnell's going to be miles behind the rest of the field. So Safdar will slow down. I'll allow the safety car to head into the pit lane, and he'll go when he is ready to do so. The safety car's in now, and we're back underway here in Barcelona. Safdar leads on the restart. Gameful Odds has not gone in the pit lane, I don't think, yet. But we can see a change of position as Eckhart gets through on Winfield up into second position. Big Boswell's into the pit straight away to take his drive-through penalty, and he'll fall way down to 15th position. So Eckart's into second place. Max not too far behind, and neither is Gunnar. The only driver who has not pitted in this race so far is Rosie. That's for a pit stop. She's already been in the pits once in this race, but that was to serve a drive-through penalty for a jump start. So Max behind his teammate, who is a lap down, so Gameful Odds will need to make sure he stays out of his way. No DRS for the first 2 laps of the restart. And someone's gone for a spin. I don't know who that is. And Paige has spun round now. Paige off at turn 12. She keeps going at least, but she's lost time. And Jay Hartnell has lost yet another front wing. So Gameful Odds into the pits to serve his drive-through. Softard nearly losing it though on the exit of turn 2. That could have been very, very costly for him. So Big Boss Bell's into the pits again. Now, what is this for? I think he's had damage somewhere. Or is this for his drive-through? I think he came into the pits for damage earlier on, but now this is his drive-through. So this has lost even further ground as the championship leader. Now, Eckert, Ginge, and who else is in the championship hunt? Melio's, well, I'll say they're all in the championship hunt. They're not really. I don't think there are actually at all because, well, they're too far back. Well, Eckart's on 72 points, Melio's on 64, and Ginger's on 63. So if either of them was to win this race, that would take them on to triple figures. But it's going to be a mathematical miracle for them to stay in the hunt for the title. As in Sector 2, who's gone off there? That's Gameful Odds, who's gone round in the AlphaTauri. And Hartnell into the pit lane. Now, is he going to carry on? It looks as though he will do. And he won't have to get out of the way of those who are a lap ahead of him. So Safdal leads on lap 22. We're at the third waypoint of this Grand Prix. Eckart's in second, 2.6 seconds off the race lead. He has got a time penalty though, of 8 seconds in fact. So Eckert will have to take 5 seconds of that in his next pit stop. The remaining of that will have to be served at the end of the race because it's a track limits penalty. So Gunnar still behind Winfield at the moment in the battle for 4th place. He's going to have DRS though. Down this back straight. Here we go, look. Goes for it into turn 10, does he? Not quite. He'll get him on the pit straight though, no question, providing he makes no mistake. Marcel's dropped back now. He's had a moment in the Mercedes at turn 12. Allows the Ferrari to go through. We'll go to this battle though, between Max and Gunnar, as they head down the pit straight together. Arnold picks up yet another penalty in this race. Just gets even worse for him now. Max holding off Gunnar. And Big Boss Bells with a new fastest up of the race. He's way down in 15th place. He's got clear track ahead of him. The next driver in front is his teammate Paige, who is 13 seconds up the road. He's got to be hoping for a safety car now. So far off. Oh, and Safdar spun. Safdar, the race leader, has spun round at turn 12. He's pushed far too hard, and he's lost the race lead to Eckhart now. So Eckhart is the new race leader. And I think Safdar's tyres have pretty much given up the ghost now by this point. He's yet to make a pit stop, so that explains why there's just no grip left on him. And Mielios is out of the race as well. And he's lost it on the exit of turn 12, just before 13. We have our third safety car off the race now. And Safdar will be ruining that, because that could have been him going into the pit lane. Eckhart's gone past the safety car already, so he'll be waiting for the pace car to make its way back round. So Page is coming in. So she slows down. Hartnell into the pit lane for another set of tyres. And Mielios, who begun the race on the front row, is not going to get to the end of this Grand Prix. So that's the third driver out. And Gainford's now with a drive-through penalty for speeding under the safety car. That's his second drive-through penalty of the race. I don't know what the limits are for number of drive-through penalties. I think it may well be 3, and then a disqualification, but we'll see. There should be a limit on the number of time penalties, to be honest with you, that you get in a race before disqualification. So Eckhart decides to stay out there. Winfield is coming in, though. Max stays out, Guna stays out, Safdar, unsurprisingly, comes into the pit lane. And Jay Hartnell's penalised again for speeding under the safety car. So that's his third drive-through penalty in this race. Gainford slows down. And Hartnell's penalised again for speeding under the... Oh, and Big Boss Bells is off there by the looks of things. He is. So the drivers with the penalties. Eckhart has 8 seconds worth. Max, Will, Quick Killer, Marcel and Ginge have 3, and Rosie has 6. Jay Hartnell and Gabe Bloods have drive-through penalties to take. Jay Hartnell currently has 2 drive-through penalties he needs to take once the safety car goes back in. Gabe Bloods has 1. Now, Eckhart's best race result this season has come in the 4th round in Baku. So Big Boss Bells is in 13th position in the McLaren. Relieved to see the safety car come back out once more. I don't know how many more safety cars we're going to have in this race. It just depends how clean the drivers can keep it. Having said that, Mielios' accident was all by himself. And safety car will be pulling into the pit lane at the end of this lap, and Eckert will slow down and allow the pace car to pull clear. And he'll go when he's ready to do so. Hard to say who's the favourite to win this race now. It's very much anyone. So coming to the end of lap 26, Eckert in the race lead. Here we go. Is there anyone making a move at the moment? Marcel under threat here from Safdar, who's going to go to the inside as they go into turn 1 together. Safdar on the hards, Marcel on the softs, and it's the Mercedes who remains in front for now. Safdar trying to go to the outside, but won't be able to do it from where he is from there. So Max behind Eckert. Hartnell and Gainful coming in to serve their drive-through penalties. Hartnell still has another one they need to take, so that's going to allow Gainful to move up a position. And my dust moving ahead, a Liverpool fan into 11th position. So that's another lap over. Winfield closing up on Quick Killer. Arnold into the pits for his 4th drive-through penalty of this race. And Winfield now gets penalised for track limits. That's his first penalty of the race. Oh, and that's a collision there. Quick Killer off the track with Winfield. Now, it looks like Quick Killer did not leave enough space there on the outside for Winfield, and the pair of them have fallen down the order now where Quick Killer's been penalised for track limits. That penalty shouldn't have been given to him, but Winfield won't be too happy with him on that one. And that'll be both into the pit lane. Yeah, and Quick Killer's got damage to his car, so with him so far down the order, I mean, I would say stay in the race. Because you never know, if they get another safety car out, that'll bring the field right back together again. As Eat My Dust has gone past. It looks like he was going wide there, but that was another one of those glitches. Will gets penalised for track limits. He's right on the tail of Guna here. He's going to use DRS on the Ferrari, and this should be him moving up into 3rd place. He is on the same tyre life as the Ferrari. So that's him up a position. And Quick Killer falling further down the order. He's off the track again at turn 9 as rejoined. And Max running wide there on the exit of turn 15 there, the last chicane. And Will's going to get a move on here. Guna may be able to take advantage here as well. Decides not to. And Quick Killer's off the track again, and I think this is going to be him out of the race here. Quick Killer into the pit lane, and that's him retiring from the Spanish Grand Prix. So no points for him. Big Boss Bell's moving into 9th place now. He's just got past Rosie in the Red Bull. So rear wing open, and someone's gone off in sector 2. Is that Liverpool fan who's gone off? Yes, it is. No damage done by the looks of things. Winfield goes through on him. And, Liverpool fan has wrecked his front wing there, carried too much speed as he was trying to get the power down. And that'll be him off into the pit lane. Softar's moved ahead of Marcel, so the other Mercedes has gone for a spin. So, Marcel and Liverpool fan not having a good lap by the looks of things here. That's not the first time Marcel has spun there today. And now Will is right on the gearbox of Eckhart. It's within DRS range, actually, so we could see another new leader here as Gunnar gets past Max into 3rd place. Covers the line into 2, and that's a very nice overtake there from the Ferrari. So Liverpool fan will be off into the pit lane. Now, he's still up ahead of Gainful Odds and Jay Hartnell here, so he'll keep hold of his 13th position. We go back to the leaders here as Will be sensing his chance here now on the Williams of Eckhart. Into turn 11 they go. So Will with the rear wing open, and this is going to be him streaming past the Williams into the race lead. There's no fight in there from Eckhart. He didn't even bother to defend. You can see from this helicopter view of the battle over 6th place between Ginge, Dust and Big Balls Bells. And Will be looking to pull away from the Williams. And perhaps maybe lengthen the stint if he can. And the McLaren Big Balls gets through on Dust into 7th place. So that's another position gained for the McLaren pilot. And someone's gone off in sector 3. That could well be Jay Hartnell, who's just allowed the Mercedes of Liverpool fan through. So we're approaching the halfway point of this Grand Prix. It looks like Will has breached out the 1 second margin to get himself out of DRS range, although he's not taking the best lines on the exit of the last turn, so Eckhart will still have the rear wing open. And so Safdar may be able to get a job done here on Max with DRS. It's not close enough, actually. So he stays behind Big Buzz Wells. It's through on Ginge for 6th, though. The championship is getting ever closer for Big Boss Bells with the way he's recovering here. He won't win it today, but a good result tonight will take him a giant step closer to clinching it. So Safdar all over the back of the AlphaTauri. Rear wing open. And season, let's say sector 3, and then said season 3. That's Jay Hartnell going for another spin on the pit straight this time. He's got the leaders coming up behind him now, though, so he needs to make sure he stays out of the way. Has he got damage to his car, I wonder? Well, Big Boss Bells has posted a new fastest lap. You don't want to be parking there, Jay. And Dust has got past Ginger's. Page gets a time penalty now for track limits. Hartnell remains out of the leader's way. Will gets another time penalty though for track limits. That takes his time to 9. And I think someone else has had a bit of a moment as well. Is that Safdar who had gone round? I think it was. So that's allowed Big Boss Bells into 5th place behind Max, and this could soon be 4th. Marcel gets another penalty for track limits as Big Boss Bells dives to the inside on the AlphaTauri, and he goes up into 4th place now. Excellent move there from the championship leader. Ginger with another time penalty. That's his total going up to 6. Hartnell's into the pits, and I think this is going to be a race over for him, don't you? And Big Boss Bells he's having to fend off from Max actually, so Max fighting back on the McLaren, and yeah, Jay Hartnell, as I thought, has retired from the Spanish Grand Prix, so that's another one gone from this race. Big Boss Bells still fighting back in, and there's Safdar looking to get through. He doesn't quite do so. So Big Boss Bells back down to 5th. Second non-finish of the season for Jay Hartnell. He missed the opening 3 rounds. Only 2 finishes to his name. So there's Gunnar, who's within a second of Eckhots here. Liverpool fan into the pit lane. I think this is for a new front wing as well. And is this him retiring? Yes, it is. So Liverpool fan also gone from this race. And Gunnar looking to get in front of the Williams here as they head into turn 1. No way through. And Marcel's got in front of Rosie for 9th position on the road. And we watch Big Boss Bells fight again with Max over 4th position. He's diving to the inside into turn 4. Max still on the inside that he'll have for 5. But Big Boss Bells covers the line and remains in the top 4. He needs to go after Gunnar here. He's another 7 seconds ahead. And Rosie with a time penalty for track limits. Now we can see Dust thinking about a move here on Max. So we look further ahead here. Ginger's got past Safdar into 7th position. So he's going to get a job done here. I think he will do here. He's right in the slipstream of the Williams. The Williams is harvesting energy. And Gunnar goes up into 2nd place. Now we watch Eat My Dust go through into 5th on Max. So Max not able to fight that one either. So Winfield going side by side with Rosie at the moment. Is this going to be a change of position here? He is going to the outside of the Red Bull. And does he get through? Winfield doesn't quite get in front. He may have DRS as they go onto the back straight before turn 10. Rosie's going to have DRS as well, so Winfield's going to struggle to get in front here. Now can Eckhart get his own back on the Ferrari? He makes a mistake, so Gunnar going too deep into the last chicane. And Eckhart may be able to get his Williams back through, and he's going to do so. So Eckhart back through into second position. And I don't think it's going to be too long, actually, before we see him in the pit lane for the final time in this Grand Prix. How far can he take the tyres is another question. Max is also on 26-lap old mediums. Hence why he's dropping back. He's losing a lot of time right now. I think he's almost preempting that there will be a safety car later on. And Winfield getting through on Rosie into 10th place. Oh, Gunnar nearly got on the curb though. He got on the curb, but he didn't lose it. That very nearly could have been the end of his race. So Gunnar behind the Williams as they both make their way past the last turn, and Gunnar should be able to get back through here. But Eckhart's using a lot of his energy. So Gunnar closing in now as Eckhart's energy has run out. Gunnar not quite making it into turn one. And all of this is allowing Big Boss Bells to close back in. This is going to make for an interesting ending to the race as Winfield gets past Marcel now into 9th. So only 4 drivers who don't have penalties in this race. They are Gunnar, Big Boss Bells, Duss and Sufdart. Now I'm just thinking, Big Boss Bells is on fresher tyres than the top 3. Can he maybe go to the end on the mediums? I doubt he would do. So he's going to be pitting later than the top 3. And someone's off in sector 3. Who's that? That's gone off there. It's, is that Sufdar? Yes, it is. Sufdar's gone for a spin in the Red Bulls and he's fallen down to 10th position. Here we go, look. Gunnar on the inside of the Williams. And that is him going back into second place. There's no question he'll get that. And Winfield posting a new fastest lap, 1 minute 20.0 for him. So he occupies that particular achievement. Softar moving in front of Marcel now into 9th position. Now Eckhart's on the oldest, or I say he's on the oldest, Max is on the oldest medium tyres of which everyone is on. He can't be too far away from making a last pit stop here. I don't know what tyres he's going to be on though, that's the only problem. I think once he gets to the 33 lap mark, that's when he needs to start thinking about coming in. Well, Marcel's in after being on the softs for 22 laps. He'll fall behind Page in 12th. So Will continuing to lead. 2.7 seconds is the gap between himself and Gunnar. As it stands with the penalties applied, Gunnar would win the race. Big Boss Bells will be second. And it's touch and go who will get third. It may well be Will who gets that. We expect the leaders to be coming into the pits for one last time. You can see all the dirt and marks on Will's front wing at the moment. That tells you about the race he's had today. So Soft Dart behind Winfield. Soft Dart with a time penalty now for track limits. There's Eckhart in third position. And Big Boss Bells is 2.6 off his margin. The race victory is still possible at the moment for Big Boss Bells. He doesn't need to win the race though, with his nearest rival not racing today. If Big Boss Bells was to get second, for instance, because that's what he's expected to get with the penalties as they are, he'll get 32 points plus the point for pole position, which would see his lead extend from 41 to 73. Now, race victory and fastest lap and pole position points would see him extend his lead from 41 to 83, and in fact that would be enough for him to clinch it. So I got my maths wrong from earlier on. So Big Boss Bells has to win this race to have any chance of clinching the championship today. He doesn't need to win the championship today, but I'm sure he would like to get it wrapped up sooner rather than later. He's closing in on Eckhart lap by lap here. I think an overtake is imminent. Lap 44, 2/3 race distance, and Max is out of the race. He's crashed out on the exit of the last turn. Now that could bring out a safety car. He has done. So Max goes no further. Rosie comes into the pits straight away. Now what will this mean for the leaders? Who's going to pit in and who's going to stay out? Well, I would imagine all the field will be pitting in, because there's no way. Well, the only exception possibly is Safdart, is on 18-lap-old hards. Rosie rejoins on a set of soft tyres. Paige is also in. I think she's going to go onto a set of softs. Yes, she is. So Max goes no further in this race. That's a shame. He could have picked up some good points in his quest for third in the Drivers' Championship. That's taken a bad dent. So Will leads. Now, this is really bad news as the safety car for him, because not only does that wipe out his lead in the race, but his chances of going for a podium. So he nearly touched the wall there as he entered the pit lane. That could have been disastrous. Now, here's the interesting question, who is going on well? I would imagine all the leaders are going to be going on soft tyres now. I think that is the tyre to be on. Will goes out on softs. Gunnar out on hards. Perhaps he didn't have any tyres left. Dust stays out though on mediums. On his 20-lap-old mediums. So the only one out of the top 4 that came in that did not go on softs is Gunnar, who's on hards. So Dust leads the race. So in 4th is Big Balls Bells. He's able to get in front of Eckhart as well, who served some of his penalty in the pits. So that's a position gain there for Big Balls Bells, which is good news for him. Now what's crucial for the championship leader is to get in front of Gunnar as soon as he can on the restart, get past Will, and go after Dust, who's going to be suffering on those mediums. I doubt he's going to get to the end of the race on those tyres. I cannot see it. So we are down to 12 runners then, with 22 laps to go. This is the 4th safety car period. Last week at Melbourne we had 5. So Dust is very much committed now on the tyres that he's on. All the penalties that are out at the moment, they are track limit penalties which can't be taken at pit stops. Now Will's got a 9-second time penalty, of which he needs to get past Dust as soon as he can and open up a margin. A big margin. .41 points is the gap in the championship coming into this round for Big Balls Bells. He's got pole position already. And there's some front wing gone off there. I don't know whose front... Oh, then that must have been from Max's car, because that's where he crashed out. So if Big Balls Bells can get the point for the fastest lap, well, it doesn't matter anyway, because he can't be caught now on race with victories if he was to win this one. So he'll move up to 4. And Dixon, who before this race, he'd won twice. I mean, to be fair, Dixon can still catch him on count mode. So if Big Balls Bells can win the race and get the fastest lap, that would be enough for him to take the title tonight, with 2 races to spare. Everyone's caught up now, so the safety car will be going in at the end of this lap. Softar is on mediums as well in the Red Bull, so we should expect him to have less grip at the beginning of the restart, but once those on the softs start to fall away, you may have a say on who finishes on the podium here, or possibly win. So Imai Dust will allow the safety car to go in, and he'll dictate the pace. He needs a good restart here and minimise the damage for later on. If the safety car does come out again, that is when he will take the opportunity to pit in for a set of the soft compound. Well, he hasn't gone yet, but he has now. Here we go then. Lap 47, 20 laps remaining here in Barcelona. Gunnar fancying the go here on Will as they go into turn 1. But he's got Big Balls Bells right alongside him. And Big Balls Bells is through into 3rd position. So that's 1 man down there for Big Balls Bells. Someone's gone off. It's Rosie in the Red Bull. We'll come to her shortly. But just want to stay in touch with Big Balls Bells. Can he get in front of Will here, who runs slightly wide on the exit of turn 4? But Big Balls remains behind him for now, with Rosie, who rejoins the race. Doesn't look as though she's got damage to her Red Bull, but she's down the field in an 11th place. And Eat My Dust has now got a time penalty. That's his first of the race, and that's good news for Big Boss Bells in his quest for the race victory. Will fancying a go here, look, but Eat My Dust is going to defend all he can. There's no DRS for the first 2 laps of the restart. And Will, can he go to the inside here? He won't do so from there. But he may have a run on the pit straight. Oh, here we go, look, what's a... Actually, Big Boss has got, instead of Will, and he's got through by the looks of things. So he's through into second place, unless Will deliberately just lets him go there. That explains it. His connection's gone. So Will's going to drop down the order, no question here. Guna gets a penalty now of 3 seconds. That's good news for Big Boss Bells, as he's the only driver left in this race who does not have a time penalty. Will continues to drop back at the moment. So hopefully we'll see him back in the race, although that's a bad dent in his hopes for a podium. So Big Boss Bells right behind the race leader. As it stands, he'll be taking the race victory. The driver with the fastest lap is currently Winfield, but there's no question that's going to come down with all these drivers now on the soft compound and with less fuel on board. And Softar moving in front of Ginge for a moment there, and then got back behind him again. We'll go to the race leader of Eat My Dust, who be needing to hold Big Boss Bells back as long as he can here, but I don't think he's going to stand a chance with the grip he's got on his tyres. So Big Boss Bells, who's now got the point for the fast lap of the race. Rosie gets a time penalty for track limits as well. So as it stands, Big Boss Bells will be world champion. Eat My Dust is using all the battery power that he's got, but that's going to soon evaporate. There's no way he'll hold off Big Boss Bells up to the end of the race. Too many laps to do on the medium tyres that he's on. So Big Boss Bells will use DRS on this back straight here. Here we go, look. Is this going to be a change for the lead now, or is Big Boss Bells going to decide to sit back here and wait for the pit straight? I think he's waiting for the pit straight, which is wise of him to do so. Eckart's also in front of Guna in third position. Now we're going to see a battle for the lead here, as Big Boss looks to go for it here. Eckart with the new fastest lap of the race, so Big Boss Bells will not be champion as it stands. Winfield's now got the point for the fastest lap. And Big Boss Bells is through into the race lead. We saw that one coming, and I think with the use of DRS, I think that's going to help him get the fastest lap point back. So we'll wait and see. So Big Boss Bells back in familiar territory, despite having a drive-through penalty earlier on for speeding under the safety car. Can he pull away from Dust? Winfield fighting over the 5th place with Ginge by the looks of things, but Ginge stays ahead. Or Winfield stays ahead, I should say. And Eat My Dust is out of DRS range, and Eckart should be able to get a move on here and move ahead of him. Softar gets ahead of Ginge. And Ginge is off the track somewhere. Is that a turn 12? It is. And damage to his front wing. So that'll be him off into the pit lane. And Big Boss is going to post a new fastest lap here, I reckon. 1 minute 18.4 for him. That tells you everything about how effective the DRS has been today. So here's Eckart. Does he move in front of Dust here? No, he doesn't this time. And Ginge coming into the pit lane for a new front wing. And he'll fall down to 10th behind Rosie, or 11th I should say. So the battle for second rages on. Dust, who only has 3 seconds worth of time penalty. I mean, to be fair, Eckhart, Guna and Winfield have all got the same penalty as a soft dart. This could get messy here because Dust is out of sync in terms of the tyre life in comparison to the others. And it looks like Ginger's gone off at turn 2 by the looks of things, but it's continued. Just gets worse for him. And someone else has spun round. It's gainful odds in the AlphaTauri. It's been a race to forget for him. So Eckhart. I don't think Dust is going to stand a chance here, so he lets Eckhart go through here into second position. Very nice move. And now we see Winfield all over the back of Guna in the battle for 4th place. Does he make a lunge into turn 4? He thought about it. And now he's fancy to go. Oh, contact made! Oh, there's contact! Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Well, I think both of them have got themselves to blame, if I'm honest with you. Winfield and Guna taping each other around. And that's allowed Safdar and Marcel and Page through. There'll be some words later on. So Big Bud Bells continues to lead. 4 seconds is the gap. He's got over second place Eckhart now. Rosie's moved in front of Will as well. In fact, Will will be making a move back on her soon. In fact, Rosie's got in front of Will, who's not rejoined the lobby, so that could be him out of action for the remainder of this one. And now Safdar fancies his chances here. This should be him moving up into 3rd place. No problem at all. In fact, ooh, he's made contact with the Alpine. And he's been penalised for track limits. He should have just gone for it there, Safdar. I don't understand why he didn't go for it. Because now he's going to have to wait a whole lap. And he's got that penalty. He should have just gone for it. That was his chance. And if he's smart, he might actually be in play for the race victory, should Big Buzz Wells and Eckhart struggle in their tyres in the remaining laps of this one. He didn't have a good entry into 7 and 8 there, so that's lost him even more time. And Emad Dust comes into the pits, and he'll be putting a set of these soft compound tyres on. He may try and go for the fastest lap. And then Winfield moves in front of Guna into 6th place, and Safdar has gone off the track. Off the track at turn 3 he goes, and that's him falling back down the order. Pushing too hard there, and Marcel's through into 3rd place in the Mercedes. And I'll tell you what, Paige up to 4th now in the McLaren. Now, she just missed out on a podium last week by the tightest of margins. If anything happens up front, she could be in play for a podium. So Big Buzz Bells continuing to head the pack. And someone's gone off in sector 3. Oh, it's Marcel this time. That's another spin for him in this race. And that moves Paige. Well, she was in 3rd place, and now she's dropped behind Winfield. And now she's got the Ferrari right on the tail here. And I don't think she's going to stand a chance here, because Guna's going to have more pace in there than the McLaren. And so she'll drop down to 5th. Guna is on the, I would say he's on the better tyres at this stage now, but not by much, than the leaders. Now I wonder if Eat My Dust will go for the fastest lap here. He's half a tenth up from before. His previous best lap time is a 1:20.4. The fastest lap of the race is a 1:18.4. And Rosie's gone for a spin in the Red Bull, front wing damaged, and that'll be her off into the pit lane. And her retirement could be imminent. So Eat My Dust by sector 2. He's only 7 tenths up from his personal best, so I don't think we're going to see a fastest lap from him here. Coming around the last chicane. And Dust should go over the line. It will be around about 1:19, I would have thought. 1:19.2. 1.2 seconds faster than before, but not enough to take the fastest lap point away from Big Boss Bells, who looks on course for the title here as it stands. And I wonder if Rosie will try and go for the fast lap. Having said that, she's outside the top 10, so this may well be her just coming into the pits and retiring. And she's damaged the front wing even more. If I was her, I would stop doing that. Oh, the safety car's out. So she's just left some debris there. And this is bad news for Big Boss Bells now, unless he decides to come in and get another set of the soft compound on, which he does so. Because there's going to be other drivers doing the same. Big Boss Bells rejoins ahead of Eckhardt. Is there anyone seen out there? I think Softar is remain out there in the Red Bull, but I think Big Boss Bells is still going to get out in the race lead here. Yep, so he keeps hold of the race lead, which is good news for him, and keeps himself in play of going for the fastest lap. So Softar remaining out there on the mediums. I think he's going to struggle to keep hold of that, if I'm honest with you. So there's Will. He's going into the pits for another set of the soft compound tyres. So this is the 5th safety car of this race. So we've got 9 laps to go at the end of this one. I think the safety car is going to be out there for one more lap. And Big Boss Bells will head the field. Now, what will Ginge decide to do here? Decides to stay out there on the soft compound that he's on. So Big Boss Bells leads the field round. We are waiting for the remainder of this race to get back on the way again. I think the only problem he's going to have is the lap times at which Eckhart, Dust and Winfield are going to set, because they're going to have DRS on the restart. Or if they're stopped behind Sufdar, that will play into Big Boss Bells' hands. Of course, if he doesn't win it today, he could win it before the start of the next one, because if Dixon doesn't compete, or if Dixon doesn't take pole position for Portimao, then Big Boss Bells will be champion before lights go out for the Portuguese Grand Prix next Saturday. And the safety car is going to remain out there, I think. Oh no, it's coming in. That's a late call there. Rosie just caught up to the long crocodile in time, and Big Boss Bells is going to lead the field on the restart. Won't want to back them up too much, but he's away now. Softar's going to be getting a nice toe on him, actually, though, before they get to turn one. But Big Boss Bells stays in the lead for now. Needs to pull out that crucial 1 second margin to stay out of the DRS range. Rosie moving in front of Will, whose car is controlled by the AI at the moment. And someone's gone off in sector 2. Is that the AlphaTauri of Gainful Odds? It is. Off into the gravel he goes. And that's damage to his car. So that'll be him entering the pit lane shortly. And there's Page posing in on the field at the moment. Eckhart has now been given another time penalty, in fact. 6 seconds worth. So this guy's work cut out of it to finish on the podium. And Big Boss has stretched out that 1 second margin, so it's looking good for him. And someone's off in sector 3. Who is that? That's gone round. Couldn't quite tell by the image there. And Rosie's got damage to her car. Into the pit lane she comes. And she's out of the race, so Rosie's gone. She may well be classified later, because she's done 90% of the distance, but she won't be going any higher than 12, as it seems. And Softar's just been overtaken, actually, by Eckhart, who gets through into second place. Can Eat My Dust find a way through as well in the Alpine? He can. Contact made, but the Alpine's through, and it looks like Winfield is going to get... Oh, contact made between the Red Bull and the Alpine, of the Alfa Romeo, sorry, and both of them are off. I have to say, that was all Safdar's fault, I have to admit. That incident should not have happened. So Big Boss Bells in the lead then, with Eckhart in second. Goon is now in fourth position. As it stands with the penalties applied, Big Boss Bells would obviously win this one. In second place would be Doss, as Big Boss Bells continues to set fastest laps. And the DRS will be enabled now, of course. Softar continues to get penalised for track limits. And Paige is up to 6th place now in the McLaren. Now she's only got 3 seconds worth, so she could move up to 4th place by the time this race is over. She needs to keep up with the pace, though, of the others and stay within DRS range to have any hope. Now here's Gunnar behind Dust in the battle over 3rd position on the track. Dust runs wide at turn 7, though. Marcel gets another time penalty for track limits. Gunnar gets the DRS open, though. He's going to go to the inside, I should think. Here we go, look. And looks like Winfield's gone for another spin in the Alfa Romeo, so that's him dropping down the order. So Gunnar behind the Alpine. Which way is Dust going to go here? The Ferrari goes to the inside. And he's due into P3, I should think. Yes, he is. Does Marcel also take advantage? Trying to go to the outside of the Alpine. He runs wide. And needs to be careful. He's already on 9 seconds worth. So as it stands, he's going to lose 2 positions. Or 3, in fact. No, it is 2. I think Softar's just come into the pits for a change of tyres, so it could be Big Boss Bells losing the fastest lap point. Now it's 42 points for a round in the Formula Racing League, so in actual fact, I just worked it out again, even if Big Boss Bells was to win this race and get the fastest lap, that would only extend his lead to 83 points, with 84 still left on the table. So, all Big Boss Bells would need to do after this race, he won't be champion today, but if he was to take pole position for the next round, or Dixon doesn't take pole in Portimao, the title will be his before lights out. So Marcel moving alongside the Alpine to get himself up to 4th place. He runs over the curbs yet again, forces the Alpine out wide, and that's him through. And I think Ginger's got past Page now as well to go up into 6th on the road. And it looks like Softar's gone for a spin, so that's good news for Big Boss Bells, actually. He's still occupied the fastest lap. 4 laps remaining. Now Eckart's in 2nd place. As it stands, he'll still keep hold of that position. But Amaguna is going to be off the podium, and Dust is going to be heading there. So Big Boss Bells still leading, and someone else has gone off the track. It's Gainful Lodds in the AlphaTauri, having yet another spin in this race. So Paige fancying another top 4 finisher. I doubt that she'll get that now because she's too far off Marcel. She's not too far off Marcel, actually, as it stands. She's continuing to use the DRS to stay in touch with Ginge. So as it stands, should finish in what I believe is in 5th place. In fact, she's left the session, so Paige has lost connection somehow with 2 laps remaining of this race. I do hope she gets back in time. And Safdar has retired out of the race, crashing out at turn 9, or just on the exit of turn 9. And that's him going no further. He's had a wretched race with the incidents involving him. He's out on lap 64 there. This is lap 65 that Big Boss Bells is on. And then there were 10. Big Boss Bells on course for victory, but the battle for second place is raging on at the moment. This is going to be Gunar's last chance on this pit straight to have a go on Eckhout. He's going to have the DRS advantage. He's got slightly more ERS usage than Eckhout, so he may as well give it his all. Doesn't get the best of exits coming out of the chicane though. Onto the pit straight. Here we go for the last time here, look. Gunnar is surely going to move into second place here. To the inside he goes. And he's done it. So Gunnar into second place for Ferrari, but Eckhout's not giving this up by any means. Gunnar to the inside for 3. He's still not quite done it. Paige is back in the lobby. That's good news. So she'll take back control of the McLaren for the remainder of this race. But Gunnar gets himself up to P2 now. Excellent performance there from Gunnar to get himself up into second place. But here's Big Boss Bells. What a recovery drive it's been from him with that drive to penalty earlier on. The safety cars have helped him, of course, but still, the way he's recovered has been excellent. And now he's going to make his way past turn 12. Then into 13. And into the last chicane and the last turn. Big Boss Bells is going to take a giant step closer to the title. Round in the last corner, Big Boss Bells wins the Spanish Grand Prix for McLaren. Gunnar's going to cross over the line second for Ferrari, and it's going to be Eckhout on the podium. So it's a McLaren, a Ferrari and a Williams in your top 3. Marcel crosses the line fourth, but he's going to drop down a position because of his penalty. And another one. So Dusty's 4th, Ginge 5th, Marcel 6th. Paige is going to come home in 7th place. And then it's going to be Winfield 8th. And it's going to be Will in 9th and Gabe Vlods in 10th. And the fastest at that point is currently Big Boss Bells. It gets to that point as well. So Big Boss Bells is 1 point away from the title. So out he comes onto the podium. He collects his winner's trophy. And celebrates like he's almost won the title. But he is almost champion. Pole position in Portugal would seal it, pretty much. And Paige is going in touch saying, what about the constructors? But that's a very good question, actually, Paige. Thank you very much. Well, McLaren went into the race with 248 points. Haas went into the race with 223. We'll go on to that in a moment. So Big Boss Bells wins ahead of Gunnar in 2nd, Eckhout 3rd, Dust 4th ahead of Ginge and Marcel, Winfield 7th ahead of Paige in 8th. So Paige has dropped down a position on the leaderboard by the looks of things. Will 9th and Gabe Vlods inside the top 10. Safdar was classified 11th, so he still gets the points for that. Rosie did not finish though, neither did Max or Liverpool fan. Jay Hartnell, Quick Killer, Melios, Fragile Tunnel and Miman Moody also retired from the event. So back to what I was saying, McLaren's points, they got, well, 40 for the race victory as well as pole position and fastest lap. Paige's 8th place was good enough to get her. So how many points is that for her? That'll be 12 points for finishing 8th. So add that to what Big Boss Bells gains. That's 54 for them. So that moves McLaren on to 302 points. And Ferrari's 2nd place there, because of Gunnar, has moved them on to 235. So they move into 2nd place now. So the gap McLaren have over Ferrari is 67 points with 2 rounds remaining. So the constructors' battle is still on at the moment. Well, thank you for joining us. We hope you enjoyed it. Next week, it's Portimao in Portugal On Friday, it's qualifying, so it's a chance for Big Boss Bells to clinch the championship by getting pole position. And then on Saturday is the race for it. So Friday, 7 p.m. British Summer Time. On Friday, the 8th of October. And then it's the race the following day, 9 p.m. British Summer Time. So do make sure you tune in for then. Thank you for joining us. Do make sure you leave a like and subscribe to the channel. And we can't wait to do it all over again in 7 days' time. I'm Tom Cairns, and I'll speak to you again soon when the Formula Racing League returns.